Welcome to Delivering the Experience once again. So many times the question comes up in terms of whether we should do top-down transformation or is bottom-up transformation a better way. Now that strictly depends on the situation the organization is in, the company is in. There could be some financial constraints. There could be some resource conversations that need to happen. There are also roadmap and deadline, time to market, customer need conversations that need to be considered. But let's start with, what does it mean, top down or bottom up? Top down really means that we start from the top leadership. We get the decision makers involved. We get the CEOs, the CTOs, the MDs of the organizations in which we are undertaking this transformation project, or we are considering the organization or domain or application for transformation. So we're going to start with the top brass of that organization. And what we do with that leadership team is we first find a sponsor there within that team. We pitch the idea of transformation. We present the benefits, we present the pros and cons, we present a full SWOT analysis that this is why we should be considering this going forward. Once the initial idea is presented, there might be some discussions, definitely a lot of cost discussions, a lot of cost benefit implications. Finance people are pulled in, architectural people are pulled in, customers are also pulled in, the customer impact points are also pulled in to understand what impact this proposed transformation project will have on the eventual timelines of different product streams that the organization has. Then come different training sessions. Leadership needs to be trained. Do we need some product training? Do we need some IT training? Do we need some training in terms of certain frameworks that we want to establish or we want to utilize in terms of this transformation project? So there are so many of those conversations happening at the same time. This is a very planning focused, front-end planning heavy exercise where we are looking with multiple microscopes at a lot of details, a lot of pieces of the puzzle as to how we are going to go about this process. And from there, that information is trickled down to the lower levels of hierarchy. So once we have our, say, CTO involved, one CEO, or once we have the organizational head bought in on this transformation project, we have a sponsor, they've given us the go ahead, everything is good to go, then we engage the next line of directors or EVPs or VPs, and we start talking to them in terms of logistics. Then we move down next level of the hierarchy and engage with the managers, come the frontline individuals, and then the knowledge workers. So that is what top-down approach is. What is bottom-up approach? Bottom-up approach really is a very operational level approach where we start with the knowledge workers, where we start with the frontliners. We start at the very level the work is being done. We engage with the teams on a very day-to-day basis. We start working with the symptoms that the teams are presenting. We start turning those symptoms into problems that the teams are facing. Have those discussions that revolve around symptom to problem identification. And we start working those problems, going down 5 levels of why, understanding exactly what the problem is, as opposed to mixing it with just a mere symptom. Then we start helping the teams out. And what happens at this level is the bottom-up approach is when we are undergoing a bottom-up approach, we are working where everything is happening, on a level where everything is happening. So any progress that we are making, that progress will turn into quantitative results. That progress will have some qualitative feedback. So we're also at the same time of that transformation, of that progress that we're making, we're actually closing that feedback loop in a very iterative fashion. And since we are working with a feedback loop, since we have quantitative and qualitative data coming in, What that means is as we are moving forward with this bottom-up approach, we are engaging our different leadership levels. We are allowing them to see the progress. We are allowing them to look into what roadblocks the teams are facing as we are going through this transformation. So we've got a top-down approach and we have a bottom-up approach. Now, it really depends on what kind of approach suits your organization. What kind of approach suits your leadership style of the organization. Whether the finance model of your organization allows top down or bottom up, or maybe your organization is the kind of organization set up where a hybrid approach, or maybe your company might be one where a very hybrid approach can actually work. So that is also a consideration for so many companies where we may not just rely on top down or bottom up approach, but we may actually have a very hybrid approach where we're also working on a strategic level, but simultaneously we start working on an operational level. And what happens in this case is that both sides meet somewhere in the middle. At the end of the day, it is a decision that needs to be made by the organizational leaders. So let us know which approach is working or has worked or you think may work for your organization, top down or bottom up. Keep watching Delivering the Experience with Umar Khan, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any challenge, if you have any question or concern or a situation, please do share that. Till next, take care.